Yeah, dude. We're here at Auto Bone, getting automatically boned every time we come here. I ordered some one-step coulter plugs for the 850, some copper Bosch. I think they're FR6 DC or something, I don't know. We had to order them in, so I'm gonna go in there and pick them up now and check them out here. Got them. Made in Mother Russia. Whoopa! These are the Bosch FR7 DC copper. Alright, I'm back here on my workbench with these FR7 DC Bosch copper core plugs for the turbo 850. Been doing some reading online, and the stock gap specifications are 0.28 millimeters for turbocharged cars. And I did some reading, and I found out that we want to go for modified turbocharged cars running higher than stock boost pressure. We want to go with a tighter gap, 0.25 millimeters. So these plugs are pre-gapped. I don't know what they're gapped to, but the 2.5's loose in there. So we're going to gap them down a little tighter and then install them on the 850. This is just a feeler gauge. I also have one of these crappy AutoZone gauges that I bought just to show you not to use these. I guess it's called a step gauge, or I'm not really sure what they're actually called, but you hook the spark plug on there like so, and then you slide it to the desired gap millimeter. But these things are known to be cheap and inaccurate, so I just bought one to show you that they're junk. And you want to get yourself a good old feeler gauge, something like this you can get from probably Harbor Freight. This one's really old, but it's got a bunch of different flexible thickness pieces of metal, and it's got some other regular kind of wire gauges too. So we're going to use this one and push this electrode down on like a piece of hard steel, and we want to be careful not to chip the porcelain. We're just going to tighten that gap up a little bit. I have an anvil over here. I'm going to push it down on this anvil. Hey everybody, we're here working on the 850. We're going to be changing out the spark plugs for a set of Bosch FR7 DC copper core plugs. They are one step colder in heat range than the ones that are currently in there, which are an iridium plug. So we're going to take these out, check the gap on them. I have these gapped down a little bit tighter than stock specifications. They're gapped down to about 0.25. I'm going to remove this cover here and pull out the plugs and check those out. We're going to install these ones. These are going to help with higher boost pressures to prevent a misfire. This is a T30 to get this cover off. Or just use a drill. I already have my top intercooler pipe removed. Okay, so we'll take the spark plug cover off, kind of have to slide it out of here on these turbocharged cars. And we'll just go one by one, simplest way, and change these spark plugs out. You can be gentle when you're pulling these boots off. The spark plug deep well. Check in there for any oil migration. Looks pretty dry. Alright, you know what? Another thing I always like to do here. Anytime you take the top intercooler pipe off, you always want to put a rag or a paper towel in the top of your turbo. You never want to drop anything down in there. I did it one time and it was a hell of a time getting it out. Protect yourself. Okay, woo, that thing is fried. There's from some misfiring going on there. Yeah. Definitely some high heat. I'm going to check the gap on these here. Okay, let's see here. These are gapped in at about, whoa, 3.1, almost 3.2. Oh wow. Okay, so these plugs should make a big difference in the running of this car. I'm going to do the rest of these plugs and then I'll get back. Okay folks, we got all the spark plugs installed, all gapped properly. I'm just putting my reverse intercooler piping back in right now. I'm listening to some good tunes. The hose clamp that IPD supplied me with for this rip kit was garbage and it couldn't hold the intercooler pipe on the turbo good enough, so I went back to the original Volvo clamp. This is the one that came with it and it couldn't hold on to it tight enough because the oil was just so slippery on this smooth stainless steel. I just went back to a regular old hose clamp and it works great. Don't let anybody tell you there's not supposed to be oil in your intercooler.